Wall Street now, where stocks jump on the news. President Trump called off tariffs on European allies and reached a, quote, framework of a future deal on Greenland. The Dow shot up 588 points one day after a dive that marked Wall Street's worst drop since October. What a difference a day makes, right? Here's a visual representation of the S&P 500. This is our interactive heat map brought to you by FinViz. As you can see, big players in AI like NVIDIA, AMD, and Google popped into the green today. Now, the gains come as leaders in the tech world will take the stage at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. A hot point of discussion: how AI will impact jobs. The CEO of Anthropic says it could be a matter of months until AI can do all the same tasks as a software engineer.
We are now, in terms of, the models that write code, I have engineers within Anthropic who say, I don't write any code anymore. I just let the model write the code. I edit it. I do the things around it. I don't know, we might be 6 to 12 months away from when the model is doing most, maybe all of what SWEs do end to end. And then it's a question of how fast does that loop close?
Let's bring in Bloomberg News reporter Sarah Frier. Sarah, you've been covering big tech for years now. This is a huge deal. Can you help explain to our audience what Anthropic CEO's comments mean for big tech and engineers and, frankly, the average American?
Well, it's really just a striking change. A lot of us, for the last few years have been hearing learn to code. Engineering is going to be the one career stable path. STEM paths are going to be the best. But I think that's really changing. I think a lot of what we're hearing from in Davos, CEOs are saying we actually really need plumbers, electricians. We need people who can do these vocational roles that involve physical labor, or at least tangible work that a computer program cannot do. And we also need critical thinking. So I think we're going to see a lot of jobs that simply edit what AI has produced, as at least that's what we're being told in Davos over the last couple of days, and that will strikingly reshape the U.S. workforce and globally.
Yeah, and Sarah, the NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang echoed what you just mentioned. He had a very different message on how AI will shape the job market. He says AI is only going to create jobs. Take a listen to what he had to say.
This is the largest infrastructure build out in human history. That's going to create a lot of jobs, and it's wonderful that the jobs are related to tradecraft, and we're going to have plumbers and electricians and construction and steel workers and network technicians and people who install and fit out the equipment, and all of these jobs. We're going to, in the United States, we're seeing quite a significant boom in this area. Salaries have gone up, nearly doubled.
Yeah, and Sarah, I'm assuming other tech leaders at Davos are sharing this similar stance, but is it enough to quell fears that AI could lead to massive job loss?
Well, no, I also think that for the AI data center build out, of course you need those electricians and construction workers, but once those data centers are built, they really don't require very many people to operate them. So, there may be an initial job boom, but then technology may advance further. We don't need as much of the data centers to keep it going, or there may be new advances in the actual AI field. So we really just don't know. But what we do know is that there is a reshaping right now of the global order, of the priorities of all of these companies, of the way that they are seeking power and resources. They are becoming more geopolitical forces than they've ever been, because the AI race has become so central to, will the U.S. lead on the world stage in the next big tech boom?
In an interview with Bloomberg News, your organization, the Anthropic CEO, also warned about the risks of American companies selling AI chips to China. He called it a, quote, big mistake. Take a listen to that.
Now, indeed, there are some policies, and I hope they change their mind, to explicitly send not quite our latest generation of chips, although it was reported that even that was being considered. But the generation of chips that's just one back, that's still extremely powerful. And we are many years ahead of China in terms of our ability to make chips. So I think it would be a big mistake to ship these chips.
Now, Sarah, these comments come as Trump loosens regulations around chip exports. Tell us more about the arguments for and against selling these chips to China.
Well, he went on to say that it would be equivalent to giving nuclear weapons to North Korea. That was Amade's analogy there. This is something that a lot of leaders are saying is very central to the AI race, is not just that the U.S. succeeds, but that the U.S. succeeds more quickly than China. And Europe, for its part, is not really a leader here. And Europe heard from executives, including Microsoft Satya Nadella, about the fact that they haven't really put their horse in the race. You know, they don't have a company at the size of anything coming out of the U.S. or China. So it really is a moment for global leaders to look at the companies and think, like, how does that set our economy up for the future? What does it mean if China is able to excel as quickly as, or eventually faster than, the U.S.? I mean, how can we prevent that from happening? So a lot of tech executives in the U.S. are hoping that President Trump will have a sort of U.S. first mentality in his thinking about the AI companies and whether they get regulated.
Sarah Frier with Bloomberg News. Thank you so much, Sarah.